goes. Hey, there we go. We are live from quarantine. It's the Unready Room.
Yay!
Oh, how is everyone doing today?
Fine.
It's a loaded question. I know. But
Loaded.
we're here to talk about Star Trek and have a good time and lift spirits and talk about this show that is so awesome. And there's only one episode left after this one. I was bringing it up and then I just brought it right back down.
No.
Oh man.
I'm just organizing. Please continue the show as I organize, please.
What are you organizing?
My work stuff, so I get work out of the way and Star Trek on the desk only.
Dude, no. Work
okay.
just right out of there.
It's
right
gone.
Out of there.
It's gone. And I've got my little coasters here.
Nice.
I actually bristle at that word man cave because I feel that I have a woman cave, which is where my gaming system is and all my nerd stuff is. And so I'm just like, why is there not just a person cave? Does it have to be gender specific? Yeah. Why does it have to be gender specific? Well, that's fine. That's fine.
The man cave really comes a lot from men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It's emphasized in there a lot.
I read that book once.
Okay.
Yeah, I did long time ago.
I had a boyfriend at the time, so I don't know how much it helped.
You were reading the book, Men Are From Mars and Men Are From Mars.
I mean, I have a boyfriend now, but I was reading it in a different relationship, and I was like, I guess this is helping me too. I don't know.
I guess we should say welcome to Chris Littlefield, who is not a regular face here, but we're absolutely thrilled to have him on. So
he's a beautiful flower.
Hey, everybody. Thank you guys for letting me crash the party today.
Letting you? We invited you, honey.
Yeah, we beg you to come on.
Yeah, just like real short. Give people who don't know who you are, just give them a brief description of who you really are.
Oh, okay. I'm Chris Littlefield, and I'm a musician. I live not actually in New York City. Very happy to say today, but just outside of New York City.
That's the first time I've ever heard you admit it publicly.
I know, right? And I do the postcards from the Edge and Postcards on the Line podcast on the Trek FM network. And you all have been guests on my show.
Yeah.
And one of you will be my guest for this next one this weekend that we're recording too. I wonder who it is.
Wonder who that could be.
Am I looking at the right place?
No.
There you go.
There you go. It's not a mirror image. It's like actual what people are saying. So hey.
Yeah. So tonight we are talking about the episode Et in Arcadia Ego, and I apologize if my Latin is not correct there. Part 1. So part 1 of a 2-part episode, and the 9th out of 10 episodes. So I guess let's start with kind of initial impressions. What did we think of this episode?
I was a little confused at some things. I don't know if confused is the right word. Well, maybe a little bit, but just, I mean, I liked it. It was just, there was things didn't sit as well for me as other episodes. Let's just say it that way.
I noticed you tweeted you had some questions.
I do.
I'm curious what those are.
Yes. Okay. When we get to those moments, well, it's really just one moment for the most part, but yeah, I'll definitely bring it up.
Excellent. So how about Brandi? What did you think?
I was a little bit overwhelmed at first, and I think that's just because I have what I am just delightfully calling fever brain. And so I was trying to read last night and words were not making sense. and that is very unusual for me. So, but full disclosure, my husband and I have been sick. No, we haven't been tested for COVID-19 because we can't get tested unless we're with a compromised immune system or over 60 years old, neither of which we are. So it's not confirmed, but I'm pretty sure that's what we have because we were exposed to someone who had been exposed by other people that they'd spent the weekend with who did one of them did test positive. So yeah.
Oy, fun. Well,
No fun.
So, yeah.
one of the
So it
things
was-
that is guaranteed to not spread COVID-19 is podcasting, though. So
Exactly.
all of you sitting at home
Yeah.
have made the right choice tonight.
Yeah. So it was a little overwhelming at first, and then I kind of settled down and really got into it. And there were I'm also really tired, so I'm like super emotional. So like everything just making me tear up. Just things that shouldn't be making me tear up.
Because you're not a very emotional person. That's surprising to me. That's super emotional.
This is
No,
new.
that's the thing. Normally my emotions are turned up to 11, but right now they're turned up to like 100. So
Well, I know
Yeah.
Chris had emotions about coming on the show.
You know, I did. I'm a little emotional right now too. I'm very up and down right now, and everybody knows I'm not usually emotional either, right, Brandi?
Right.
yeah, you're totally a stone cold
Yeah,
guy.
Stone Cold
so
Fox.
much.
Yeah. So when you guys invited me, when you said I could come on, I did tear up a little bit. The
Aw.
episode made me a little emotional too. I really liked it. I thought there was a lot of it was so TNG. Like it was so TNG to me, and there
I
was
could see
like
that.
a little bit of TNG camp, and then it really felt like that to me.
Mhm.
I liked it a lot. I thought that there were some cheesy lines in it, but it didn't bother me because it is Star Trek, and
What's Star Trek
it's not
without
like we've
cheese?
never had a little bit of cheese involved too, right?
Mhm.
I thought it was
Excellent.
very pretty episode.
Yeah,
It
for
was.
sure.
Visually
Yeah.
stunning.
Hmm.
I should point out Zamboni Josiah says the CDC issued a stern warning against starting new podcasts during the quarantine period. So, Bruce, you and I got in under the wire. We started
Yes.
ours before the quarantine, so we're good. We're good. But,
To be fair, this isn't a new podcast, so
Well, to be fair, this isn't even a podcast.
that
No.
too.
Right.
It's
no,
just-
I was referring to Positively Trek.
yes, I know you're. Yes,
Uh,
Positively Trek from the guys who do literary treks. Me and Dan.
we got to, okay, we've plugged
Oh,
it,
shoot.
so I'll check that off.
Okay.
All right. So we're going down the list. Good. We're good there.
Had to get that in there at least once.
Absolutely. So the episode starts out, we're in the Borg transwarp conduit, we're traveling to Capelius, and we get there pretty quick, 25 light years in 15 minutes? Or was it 15 light years in 25?
15.
No, it was
25
25 and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Something like that. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. So yeah, this
We're all
whole
like, yeah, it was 25 and 15, 25 and 15.
So we get this battle, of course, because we know that Narek is following behind them. And then I think my favorite moment in this episode comes very early in the episode, which is, of course, Rio saying, well, that's unexpected. And then how gorgeous was that Borg cube coming out of the transwarp conduit?
Oh, that was so
It was-
cool.
Oh, it was
Oh.
amazing. That's the first time I teared up.
Oh, that was so
Even though I
great.
totally expected it still.
Mhm.
Just like,
Yeah, I was expecting it too, but visually, like it was
So stunning.
stunning.
I thought that was
Definitely.
broken. So not broken.
Yeah, and so yeah, it comes through, and I'm expecting like this, the Borg ship is gonna kick some ass and take some names, but that actually doesn't happen. I don't know. This episode
Yeah.
to me was like all about subverting expectations because I was not
Yeah.
expecting what
Hmm.
happened there.
Well, they were
Mhm.
powering up weapons, and then the flowers came.
Mm-hmm. Those darn flowers.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about that. Then the orchids, 5 of them come up from the planet, and if you're watching, one of them takes La Serena, one of them engulfs Narek's little ship, and then 3 of them
Yeah.
latch onto the Borg cube and pull it down.
Yeah, I thought about the animated series. I saw somebody else online. When I saw
I did too.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, at first I was like, "What is going on? Are these like real flowers or a projection or something?" And then I was like, "But then the more I was seeing that, I was like, this feels like the animated series." And I was trying to think, have we seen animated flowers in space like that before? We've seen something like that.
I wonder where.
Yeah.
I wonder where we've seen something like that.
Yeah, and Zamboni Josiah brings up what immediately came to my mind.
Yeah.
The Discovery credits, right?
Thank you.
Oh,
Didn't it look exactly like that? Or
That's not
pretty
what I was
close
thinking.
anyway. Yeah.
What were you thinking, Chris?
The at Farpoint State and the space jellyfish at Farpoint Station a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Yeah. So
The little
Paul Mead
tendrils.
says it too. Yeah. Yeah, the tendrils.
Oh, yeah.
And
They just look like big orchids to me.
They're pretty.
So pretty.
Yeah.
What do we call them? We call them orchids.
We just call them orchids.
We just call them orchids.
Okay, before we get any further, because it's at the very beginning, I started watching this with my wife, and as soon as it began, she's like, "How did Narek find them?" I said, "This is before any lines were said. That was the first thing." She's like, "How'd they find him? The tracking device was disabled and all that." And I know Picard even asked that. And it's like, well, I guess he knew our last position. He just kind of figured it out. It just seemed kind of lame. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was definitely a throwaway line that like it was kind of like, how did he? Well, he did that. Okay. I think we put a lot more thought into trying to figure it out than was warranted. It turns out.
Well, it's just kind of lame because they do a whole plot, they do a whole episode about this. He can't track us now because of what Girardi did, and all this dramatic stuff that Girardi did. Now that he can't track us, it's like, okay, he's gone. And then it's almost the writers are like, oh crap, but we still have to get him to follow them. Like somehow, like I don't know,
because they had changed their course a few times before.
Yeah.
Like after Narek had lost them, so
yeah,
I'm okay with it.
Well,
like,
okay, but here's a theory I had. It's like unless he's able to track Soji.
Okay, finally, can I say something, please? Because I believe I said in the last episode.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm playing with you. I'm just messing with you. You did say in the last episode.
This is not the day to mess with Brandi.
No, do not get on my nerves.
I only wanted to get the word in because I knew you were going to correct us and it would be done.
That's fine. But see, and I don't think that he could. I don't think it's a matter of him being able to track Soji. I think it's a matter of him knowing Soji and knowing that she would want to immediately go home. And so he already knows where home is. He's got the coordinates. So he went to the most likely place that she would be able to get there quickly because he knows Soji.
Oh, and he would have information to all of the database stuff because he's all Tal Shiar, high and muckety muck. So,
well, you should have said that earlier, Brandi.
Yeah, why didn't you just say that?
Yeah,
I don't know, you guys. I just
sorry.
Can't make my words come out right today.
It beats my theory that Soji actually accidentally left location data on her phone, but
Yeah, that was it.
Actually, Lawrence Todd has a similar. He said he hacked their Google Maps. That makes sense. Yeah, there you go.
Yep, that works.
Yeah.
Or Narek asked, "What's his name on the Riker Troy planet?" Remember the captain? What's his name?
Crandall.
Yeah, Captain Crandall. He asked Captain Crandall.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So one other little bit from this beginning I wanted to talk about was I thought he reversed his cloaking device and used it to project himself or something like that. That was interesting.
How's that work?
Kind of cool.
How do cloaking devices work?
I don't know.
Exactly.
It takes the image from the other side and projects it on the other side, right?
Something like that, sure.
Like the sensors around on the other side project.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, because a cloaking device isn't it? It does reflection, right, of space to cloak itself. So somehow using the reflection to reflect something. I don't know.
Or it could be a totally different type of cloaking device, because this is how many years later that projects a holographic image around the ship. So in that way, you could use it to project something else.
Wait, what was the question?
Got it.
before the cloaking device question?
Before the cloaking device, we were talking about how Soji.
No, about how they
Narek
reversed
tracked
the
them?
thing.
Oh yeah.
I didn't.
So the
remember that.
line was, he reversed his cloaking device and used it
as
to
a
project
projector.
himself. Used it as a projector.
Oh my gosh, I watched the episode twice and I don't remember that.
Oh
Yeah,
okay.
because suddenly he's shooting them from behind.
As soon as they, I
right.
assume, dropped their shields to beam him aboard.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. That's
Yeah,
right.
there's a lot going on in this beginning. You can easily miss something.
I think the lesson here is, if your android crew member says it's a trap, it's a trap. Like, Picard would have listened to Data, I think. So listen to Soji.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
I had to do
Exactly.
That. Sorry.
I was waiting for it.
I
so.
know.
Yeah, well, see, this is the way I look at it. We don't know what Romulan cloaking devices can do now. We didn't know what they could do way back when, because the Romulans are very secretive. So I just shrugged my shoulders and went, oh, great, another secret that they have, which is probably one of the things that the Tal Shiar developed, because that's what they do. So
Well, the other thing I thought is maybe they've been able to do this for a long time. We just never saw an episode where they did it.
exactly.
Yeah, we know there are different types of cloaking devices, because like the Suliban ones use some sort of radiation, which makes Trip's arm disappear, for
That
example.
was hilarious.
I love that. And the Romulans had a phase cloak at one point that let them go through solid matter. If it's just bending light rays, it's not going to be able to do that. So, yeah. New cloaking device.
We're talking about the scientific possibility of something that's already not possible. So
we'll get there again later in the episode too.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, a cloaking device. Oh yeah, we don't have those, so can't explain how that works. Therefore, I'm not going to bother trying to explain cloaking devices as a projector.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys remember what the Picard maneuver was?
Oh yeah.
Zamboni Josiah said he used his cloaking device to do something not terribly unlike the Picard maneuver.
Right. So the Picard maneuver was basically, you're facing your enemy and you blast into high warp so that there appears to be two of you at the same time, because the light hasn't gotten to you yet of it going to warp and yada yada yada.
That's right.
I'm so embarrassed. Did you know what I thought?
Or did you mean that?
That's what I thought.
Sorry, right.
The Picard maneuvers that straighten out. Yeah.
That's also the Riker maneuver, for sure.
Yeah.
And there's some other Riker maneuvers too. But.
Like how he takes a seat. He can't just sit down. He has to straddle that thing like a horse.
Oh yeah.
Every time.
I've tried sitting down like Riker, and all I end up doing is injuring myself. So
you got to have really long legs,
yeah.
which one of the Frakes does. So,
or very short chairs, one of the two.
Yeah, or a combination of both.
There you go. So yeah, right before the credits, though, we get kind of a distressing bit with Picard, because the illness that was hinted at earlier, that we know comes from the defect in his parietal lobe that we know from All Good Things turns into Irumodic syndrome in that timeline. He has, it's making itself known now. He's got a condition that he describes as terminal when we come back from the credits. So something that's been hinted at, something that we knew was going on, but we hadn't had it like just laid out for us like that. What did you guys think of that?
I appreciated the scene with just him and Agnes, because once again, Alison Pill being a genius and communicating so much with just her face. No dialogue, nothing, just her face. Really just appreciated her. And yeah, she was visibly upset. I like how he waited until the last possible minute to say anything about this, because he knew people would treat him differently. And, and then of course he has to say, if any of you treat me like a dying man, you run the risk of pissing me off. Nobody wants to be on the side of pissed off Picard. Nobody
Yeah.
wants that directed at them.
So what really struck me about that was like the experience in All Good Things. He remembers that because he went through it. No one else does because, that got taken care of. But he remembers that, and he remembered how everybody treated him differently. So I've got to imagine that's going through his head as well, right?
Of course, absolutely.
There's something I want to say, but it's like I need to save it for later in the show, but it ties to this.
Okay.
Bruce with the teasers, man.
Well, it's
Can
like I have opinions about things, but it's based on the whole episode. So talking about this, it's like I want to say something, but it reveals something that we're going to talk about later. So I'll save it.
All right.
I'll be quiet for the first half of the show.
Great.
Oh, you know what?
Automated
Joy has a good question. Why aren't they naming the syndrome in the series? Why aren't they saying the word Ironic syndrome?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I kind of
don't
kept
know.
waiting for it too.
I think it's that 25% difference thing.
Oh no.
Oh, I think it's because it's like such a wink to the fans. Maybe that's my.
Yeah.
Like they're not giving away the.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
'Cause if you
maybe,
don't know, yeah.
I'm just saying maybe he doesn't want to say the words because
could
Oh
be.
yeah, maybe.
that just makes it worse somehow.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that
People
popped
have-
into my mind, and this is probably just me way overthinking this, but was the fact that his doctor said that the original condition could lead to any number of different syndromes, and maybe the Q alternate reality didn't come to pass, and it's a different syndrome, one that maybe acts a lot faster than that one did, or something like that. But again, I'm probably just really overthinking that.
No, it's possible. It's
Yeah.
entirely possible. I don't think that that's overthinking it. I think that's
How
a
are you
good pickup on
overthinking
that
Star
dialogue.
Trek?
So
How dare you overthink
It's what
Star
we
Trek?
do, I guess, isn't it? Yeah.
So rare, so random, Dan, to do that.
yeah, I know.
Nobody
Trekkies
does that.
overthinking things. Yeah, that would never happen. But yeah, that line, you run the risk of pissing me off, I thought was perfect.
Yes, that was nice.
Excellent. So yeah, we they end up on the planet. I got to say also the CGI of them going through the atmosphere and the flower burning away, that was just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just every bit of the visuals were just glorious from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh man, the Borg cube hitting the atmosphere.
Yeah, that
I
was
know.
cool.
Oh, I cried again. I teared up again when that happened. So,
Yeah.
like I said, just reacting to things that normally would not make me cry. Just
Yeah, these last two episodes, as far as visuals go, like, and all of them having to do with the Borg ship. Like last episode, it was the ejecting the drones into space. That was just like,
And the repairing of the outside.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, who would have known after all these years that the way to defeat the Borg is using flowers? I mean, think about it. If you were in a war with the Borg, you just bring those flowers, it just pulls them down, crashes them on a planet.
hey,
I just
man, the
pictured
hippies
hippies
had
like-
it right.
Yeah, they're
Flower
exactly.
power.
It's like a Borg coming at you with assimilation tubules and hippies just sticking flowers in them.
Yeah.
Mhm. Hey, man, relax.
Give peace
It's
a
all
chance,
good.
man.
Yeah. We can all live together in happiness.
I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony.
La, la, la.
What was that?
Oh man. After this week I needed this. You guys are awesome.
I know, me too. I mean, yes, I needed it too.
Yes, you guys are awesome.
Yes, you guys are awesome. I don't want to be the only person who didn't say that. So, la la la. I'm picturing Borg with like a bunch of Coke bottles now.
We are the Borg.
No. These days, it would be Coke Zero Sugar because they're being more responsible about their sugar intake.
Except Rios and Raffi, they'd have the full sugar.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
They're hardcore.
Yep.
For sure. So they end up on the planet's surface, intact mostly, and they end up worried about homicidal fungi, which I thought was interesting. Now, we talked a little bit about this before we started the cameras going. What were your guys' thoughts on homicidal fungus?
I messaged Brandi at that exact moment and said, "Oh my God, Discovery deep cut."
No. Disagree.
Yeah, and I didn't get that at all. I didn't
Neither.
I
I
didn't
never
even
even thought
think of
about
that.
Yeah.
About with what's her name?
They weren't
Um,
homicidal. They were trying to survive. They were being exterminated. They brought Tilly there to do something about the monster. That doesn't make them homicidal.
Oh, they were trying to kill Culber because he was the monster, the Josep.
Yeah,
I
but they
guess-
didn't know what he was.
Yeah. So it's
So-
not like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Fine.
so I'm not going to judge
Never mind.
species that okay, well, it's not. I'm not the only one who didn't think that.
I know, I'm the only one who did apparently, so it's okay.
I just wanted to stage this little cage match here.
It's all
Yeah.
Dan's fault.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Yeah, it's all good. It's just not something that occurred to me.
All good things.
God.
So this episode is one that I notice is kind of littered with these little great lines, and we mentioned you run the risk of pissing me off earlier. Another great Picard line we get here right away is hope and the odds make poor bedfellows. I thought that
Love,
was so good.
love.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
Yeah.
new mantra.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. You never really think about it, but yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought that was excellent. So yeah, they come out of the ship, they see the smoke in the distance, and they realize, of course, that's the Borg cube where it's crashed. So they head off over there before they go to Coppelius Station, which is where Soji feels she was born. I don't know what just happened with
Something's
Bruce. If
wrong
you
with
really
Bruce.
want to say something,
This
or
is the point. This is where I have confusion and questions.
Okay.
I've been waiting
Okay.
for this point.
all right.
Okay. So, and seriously, I'm not criticizing. I'm just like, maybe I missed something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay. So, we have our crew. They crash. Well, first of all, okay, the Borg cube shows up and everything. They all go down to the planet. And so we have Picard and crew there. And they have pointed out the fact that, hey, the Romulans are on their way. And then they leave the ship and they're going over to the Borg cube. My question is, well, why didn't they think the Borg cube was the Romulans? Because the last time they dealt with the Borg cube, Romulans were still in control of it. I'm not aware of them finding out that the Romulans weren't on it anymore and that it was they're gone. So, and then when they're heading to the Borg cube, I'm thinking, why are they going to the Borg cube? Because wouldn't they think there's Romulans still on it and they're trying to avoid the Romulans?
I know who
Picard
knows.
says that Hugh and Elnor could still be alive,
Right.
and he is not going to leave them behind.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
but that's true. But why don't they also say, but we got to be careful because there's Romulans on that. We're going into a nest of Romulans that they're trying to run away from.
I can't answer that question, except maybe Picard could feel that. I mean,
It
with
was the
his
flowers.
connection to the Borg, maybe he could feel that there were XBs still on the ship, and that they weren't
Oh,
feeling
because he looked
threatened,
cutest.
and etc. I'm just
Possibly.
saying, maybe
Possibly,
he had that feeling.
I can buy that.
Or maybe his firm belief in Elnor and Hugh, he was like, "Oh, surely they'll take care of everything in no time because they're good guys and they're badasses."
Yeah.
I guess it's just when they were when the Borg cube came through and they were like, oh, it's a cube. I thought, oh my gosh, they're going to freak out because they think this is the Romulan invasion because the Romulans are in control of the cube. And then they were just like, they didn't question that. And I was like, why aren't they afraid of the Borg cube? And then when
Why
they go
wasn't
to
it at least brought up?
yeah, and then why? And then they're heading into the Borg cube, where I'm thinking, aren't they thinking there's a bunch of Romulans and they're trying to get away from the Romulans, so they don't want Soji to get captured, because they're after Soji. Like, I was really confused by that.
Oh, they
That's a good point.
Monseb send one. I can't read your name. I'm so sorry. Brings up a good point that I forgot about. I believe it. I can't remember who said it, but Rafi or I think it was Rafi. She said basically no one could have survived that impact.
Mhm.
So they thought everyone was dead, but they were still going to go look for the bodies, I guess.
Yeah, Picard's like, no.
Yeah,
That name's not in the
that's when
opening
he
credits.
says-
They'll find.
Yeah, because Rafi says the odds are that no one survived that impact, and that's when Picard says hope and the odds are poor bedfellows. So that's it.
Yeah.
They
No,
thought
that's true.
Okay.
they thought if there were Romulans there, they'd probably be dead.
Mhm.
Okay.
And also, it makes sense
Okay.
to suss out that situation before going on, right?
Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah.
when they get to the Borg cube, they had no reason to really think it would be operational, but they do use the long range sensors to find out, how many ships are coming and how far away they are and that kind of thing, which turns out to be very important information. So, yeah,
Well,
makes
and I
sense.
also thought of the fact that, when they were chasing Narek, it's like, okay, we don't kill someone who's in need. Like, if they're trying to kill us, then that's one thing. But if they're helpless now, and even in war, we try to save them, and they're going to bring Narek into the sick bay. So I did think, well, they would probably go to the Borg cube, even if they think Romulans are on there. But if any of them are dying or need help, they would still come and try to rescue them. I was just bothered by the fact that they never mentioned anything about possible Romulans. Be prepared, have your phasers ready just in case.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
Rafi talks about, well, there could be other creatures out there in this land. I'm like, okay, what about the Romulans?
Right.
No, that is
was
a good
bothering me.
point that I hadn't thought of.
And it was never addressed when they got in the cube, like no one said, well, the Romulans left. We're the only ones here.
Mhm.
Well, I think it was just kind of logical to assume that if the Romulans were on their way here, they had gotten what they needed from the artifact, and now they were on their way to destroy the synths. So why would they still be on the Borg cube?
I thought that too.
Yeah. No, it's a good point, and like I hadn't thought of it for sure. Yeah. When they do get to the Borg cube, and a few people have pointed this out in the chat. I love that we get the XB Locutus again, and poor
Yeah.
Picard
Still freaks him out. Still
yep.
freaks him out.
Ah!
And he falls on the bed like Rafi did.
Oh, yeah, that was, and then, but that's diffused pretty quickly, and we get kind of the really nice Picard and Elnor reunion there. So that was really
My
sweet.
heart.
I just,
Sorry.
no worries. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I can't get over how well he plays like that childlike innocence of Elnor mixed with like kick-ass fighter, which is weird, but
Yeah, I
Murderer.
love Elnor, but that's why I was a little disappointed, because I'm like, oh, they're back together, and he's like, but you stay here. Like, oh, come on, I want him to go with you.
yeah.
Yeah, did you see his arms though? Oh, good lord.
Whose arms?
Elnor's.
Oh, you liked his arms?
Yeah, he had some nice arms.
Speaking of arms, Chris.
Oh yeah, you like. That's when we work out together.
Yeah. You got Elnor arms there, babe.
No, Elnor has Chris Littlefield arms. Thank you.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You did come first.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
man.
older.
And Lawrence Todd says Elnor is a hugger. So yeah, he uses those arms for hugging a lot.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. 7 of 9. She's,
Okay.
not the biggest part in this episode, but every time she's on screen, is she not just an amazing presence?
Yes.
And then another great line. Sorry. Do you ever help with the cleanup, or you just make messes or something like that? I'm having a hard time
Yeah.
reading my own writing, which was my hesitation there. But the line is something along those lines. I love that.
It was just another like kick Picard while he's down line that are just all over the place.
I felt like that was a smirk, tongue-in-cheek line though to him. Like she's being a bit cheeky there.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's absolutely being cheeky.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 All right.
It was weird to me
Alright.
when she was kicking the bodies off of the ledge.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Were those
Okay.
Romulan bodies or were they XBs? I couldn't tell.
Oh, she wouldn't be kicking XBs.
I know. That would be
See, my
weird.
Yeah,
thought was
okay.
that they were XBs. Oh, that makes more sense. That
I
makes
don't
more
know.
sense.
I'm pretty sure they were Romulans.
Okay.
Because there were a fair few Romulan deaths. So
Mhm.
yeah.
That's what I thought too, but I just wasn't 100% positive. So
And where's everybody else? Where's all the other workers that were there? You know, the
their
Trill
names
friend.
aren't in the credits.
Remember the Trill friend that we met a long time ago?
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
wondering about
I'm
her.
pretty sure. Okay, I'm pretty sure that what happened in the interim is Narissa killed Hugh. Now there's no director of this thing. She basically has accused him of treason, and I'm sure that's how she's reported what she did. And she's gotten all of those people off the
They
ship.
got furloughed.
Yeah, they got furloughed.
Sorry.
They
too soon.
absolutely
No.
got furloughed.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah,
actually hadn't thought of that either.
I just wish they would answer a few little things like that, you know, just I don't know.
Mhm.
Because I was
This
wondering
is-
that the other day.
This is not a book, Bruce. They don't
No.
have time for all of this.
But it's like it's just odd that they would introduce that character and never really go anywhere with her, you know, and then you never hear her again. It's like because I remember there was all these theories. Ooh,
We
is
thought she was going to
Mhm.
die or something.
yeah,
right?
or is she like
Hmm.
a spy? And there were all these things, and it was like she was just yeah. Anyway,
Because everybody
was-
wants to make something huge out of everything.
I know, which is sad.
Right.
Well, the thing is that it wasn't about her. It was about showing us what Soji was really like.
Yeah,
Mhm.
So that's why I didn't expect to ever see that character again. It's like
Yeah.
they're showing us who Soji is through that
Yeah.
moment.
Mhm.
Mhm. Becky 2010able says all those scientists were extras, just there. Don't worry
Oh,
about it.
and she says the quote when she says go back to saving the universe, and he says that's your job now.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, we're
and
gonna
you
get
know-
there. I
Such
love
a
keep
bittersweet
saving the
line.
galaxy.
I'm sorry,
Picard.
I jumped ahead of you.
Oh no, it's all good.
I actually turned to Dave and I said, "The Adventures of Elnor and Seven, Fenris
Yeah.
Rangers."
That would be
want
great.
that show.
Right?
I mean, it's been pitched. The 7 show has been pitched, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That'd
I
be
read
cool.
that it has been pitched or it has been talked about.
Well, there are 3 shows that have not been named that are in development that we don't know anything about.
Right. Captain
I'm kind
Pike
of-
Enterprise series.
Gamma
Yeah.
better be.
Yeah.
I'm kind of loving this pattern. You know, we have a show that like brings back an old character
Oh,
and
yeah.
people react to them saying like, "Oh, I had no idea this character could be so awesome." And then it's like, "We need a show about that character." That'd be cool.
So maybe the
Elnor.
7 show
Put that
will
up.
bring back Tuvix, and then Tuvix will get his own show.
Oh God.
The Tuvix Variety Hour.
Oof.
Oh my
Oh,
god, a Star Trek variety show? Come on.
I mean, I'd watch it, obviously.
I would. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I
Tuvix
mean,
has a cane and a hat. And
I watched the Brady Bunch variety show. So
Of course you did.
just yesterday. No.
We used to have a
Oh, man.
local variety show that was broadcast only in Utah that was called Talent Showcase. No kidding.
Ooh,
That
That's
was the
amazing.
talent
Nice.
showcase.
Hosted by Eugene Jalesnik.
Yes, Eugene. What's Eugene doing nowadays?
He's dead.
I knew that.
Oh.
He was very old.
Talent Showcase?
You did say that.
He was
Took a
old at the
turn.
time that this was going on, and I was like 4 or 5, so he definitely dead by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were
So
the
let's,
Osmond boys in that?
No, they were
Probably.
already big.
Yeah, but they
Osmonds
could have
were already
stopped
big.
by and made a guest appearance.
Nah.
I'm just saying it says odd. I googled it and it says home of Utah Talent Showcase. Did you know there's stuff on it? There's stuff on it. There's
There's
videos.
stuff.
Of course, there's
There
stuff
is
on
stuff.
everything.
I know
think
what I'm
it-
doing tonight after we do
Oh,
this.
Me too.
Oh God.
I think
Okay,
the
don't.
Osmonds are the Fenris Rangers.
Hmm.
That would make sense. There's enough of them.
Exactly.
And their secret weapon is a song and dance routine.
Hey, there was
People's
a
heads just
Donnie.
start exploding.
There was a Donnie and Marie variety show in the 70s, y'all.
Yes, there
Yeah.
was.
Friday
So-
nights.
Yep.
Mhm.
ABC. I remember.
Watched it every Friday.
Hey, what are we here to talk about, Dan?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't even
We were
know
talking
anymore.
about Seven and Elnor Fenris Rangers.
So,
And the Osmonds.
I do want to say there some discussion in the comments coming up about a line by Picard where they're talking about Hugh, and Picard says something along the lines of, and actually Boatrek has the exact line here.
Yeah.
Poor Hugh, it must have taken appalling brutality to turn such a gentle soul to violence.
What was
So-
that?
So I'm thinking it was because you remember Hugh wanted to turn the power of the Borg cube against the Romulans and
Mhm.
use the Borg cube to force the Romulans off the ship by
He was going to get
killing
rid of
them
all
or
of
something
them.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Picard and Seven talked about that, and probably Elnor informed Seven of his plan and that sort of thing. So it's kind of interesting. It's a bit of a quick line there that I feel like should have had a bit more context, but I think that's what they're referring to there.
Well, of course, that's what they're referring to. What else would they be referring to? Because then Narissa shows up and says, "Oh, that sounds like treason to me," and then
That sounds like a treaty violation.
But he never
Yeah.
went through with it, so the violence never happened.
yeah,
but
well,
he still had the intent.
he
That
was-
was
that-
what he was
yeah.
going to do.
So
if
maybe
he
that
hadn't been stopped.
So maybe that answers my question from earlier, that Picard, when he saw the cube, just assumed that Hugh was achieved his goal and the Romulans were all killed and gone.
Well,
Yeah,
he
but
wouldn't.
he wouldn't have
he would
known
know
that
that
then. He
because
hadn't talked to
Picard was
Seven
already
yet.
gone.
Oh,
Picard was already gone from the cube when that happened. So,
Yeah.
and it was just Hugh and Elnor.
right. But I'm just wondering if Picard knew that they were going to do that.
I don't
Anyway.
think so.
I don't think
Okay.
so.
Because it wasn't until after Narissa killed all the XBs that he got angry.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt like a
Mhm.
little continuity issue to me, but maybe not to
It wasn't
others.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like they could have given that line a little more context in
Yeah.
the moment,
Sure.
just because I've seen more than one person kind of like, how did Picard know that? When did that happen? What's going, so
Yeah. That's
see that bit more of that conversation. I
that
think would have
that
been
goes
nice.
back to what I was saying earlier, that this episode just didn't, like, there was little things like that where I was just like, huh? What? Wait, what? Just yeah. Like things are missing.
Yeah. Like
Actually,
previous episodes, I was like, I love watching it a second time to pick up all the nuance. This one was more like, oh man, I'm gonna have to watch that a second time because
Yeah.
there's a few things I'm not clear on.
Right.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
actually didn't ever feel that at all. I never felt unclear about anything. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember that. So
Yeah, I didn't really feel unclear about anything. It all, yeah. But I did.
Fair enough.
There were some things when I saw it the second time that I had missed.
Mhm.
And did
The
the
story was
episode
pretty
end there?
straightforward.
What's that? Sorry.
I said, did the episode end there?
yeah, it totally did. That was all.
Yeah, that was it. That's all. No.
See, that's why I was confused.
So yeah, we get Picard, or no, first we find out there's 218 Romulan warbirds heading their way, which was kind of a cool little reveal there. I thought that was neat.
Yeah, we only
Uh,
have to worry about the first 109.
That was a great line too. I love Raffi in this episode.
Yeah,
There's
that was
so
great.
much about her I loved in this.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. All right. Well, so we had Elnor eating each other again, and now we've got Elnor and Picard's goodbye. Like you said, just like that, they're separated again. And Picard
I
saying,
know.
"I'm very, very proud of you."
Yep, teared up.
Yeah,
Teared up.
my son.
I
Don't
saw a bunch
worry.
of people
I will
online saying like they wanted Picard in that moment to call him his son.
Yeah, you're my son. We will have a bar mitzvah for you when I get back. You've now become a man.
A little late to do bar mitzvah.
Well, he's 13 Romulan years.
I'm pretty sure he's not.
I don't know. That's in my head canon.
There's no such thing
Okay,
as
that's
Romulan years anymore. That son's gone.
Exactly. So he just
How do
called-
you measure time?
I don't know. He's like Alexander. He grows up really quick.
Becky 2010able has a good point. Overkill, 218 ships to kill 9 androids and an old man.
There were way more than 9. Way more.
Yeah.
Way more than 9. But of course they're going to do that because they are going to make sure that there is nothing left. Not a cell, not a neuron, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Well, they
going to
don't know.
exterminate. What now? What?
They don't know how many are there, right?
That's
Yeah,
true.
it doesn't,
They have no
but
idea.
it doesn't matter
Yeah.
how many are there, how many are not there. They think it's a nest, but they're going to make sure that they raise everything on that planet. They're just going to kill it all because they don't want any, even the tiniest atom of technology that could be used to rebuild since. They want it all gone.
So this is reminding me of a comment on a recent video where somebody was talking about how the Romulans have 2 modes. There's either like extremely subtle or extremely unsubtle. So like, you know, they're subtle, they play with secrets and these information, or they paint huge freaking birds on the bottom of their ship and rain down fire from the sky. I love it.
That is true. Yeah,
great.
that is true because they don't have any range. They're one extreme or the other. There's nothing in between.
Well, there's nothing else for them to do. I mean, their
I relate
planet's
to that.
gone. They're just like, there's no war going on. They got nothing else to do. So somebody goes, hey, we're going to go for that android planet. And they go, oh, me too. It's something to do. And all the ships show up. They're like, yeah, we're gone.
And Alexander Sandu has a good point. According to their visions, they're fighting away the apocalypse. So
That's
like
true.
this is the end of history.
This
Or-
is it.
Not like that's kind of how they're operating. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they really feel like they're doing the right thing. And they're going to make sure it gets done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought Alexandra Sandu told me earlier she was watching RuPaul's Drag Race right now.
Oh my gosh, that's so weird. I had that on this morning.
That's tough. That's
Honestly.
tough to compete with. I gotta say. Like,
Oh,
oof.
yeah. Sorry, random.
That's great. So yeah, and of course we get what I think is another one of the great bits of dialogue in this episode where Seven says to Picard as they're leaving, "Keep saving the galaxy, Picard." And Picard says, "That's all on you now." That wonderful line. So great.
Yeah.
Who would have thought these two would be so good together?
It's like Reese's Cups, peanut butter and chocolate. Tastes
Mhm.
good together.
Yeah, when they
Absolutely.
showed her the first time in the trailer, I was just like, this is perfect.
I bet for Jerry Ryan, it's more pleasurable to work with Patrick Stewart than with Kate Mulgrew, from what I hear.
From what I hear as well. Apparently so. So
Bringing up
Coppelius
old-
Station.
Hi, Kate Mulgrew, if you're watching.
They're good now. They're
Love
all
you.
good now.
They are
Yeah,
good
they're-
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're good
really
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that I can kind of see where Kate Mulgrew is coming from because, to be honest, Jerry Ryan was brought on for sex appeal.
Right.
She was there to be an object for the men. And the
Mhm.
writers didn't leave her like that. They did something wonderful with her.
Yeah.
That was
and she's an
unexpected.
amazing actress too, and she's not going to come on and be a sex symbol because she's just so smart. You know, she's a really good actor. You know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I mean, the way that she was dressed, she was there for the male gaze.
Yeah.
That's all she was there for at first. And I would have been resentful for that if I were the lead female of the show. I wouldn't have communicated it in the same way that it had been communicated. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I can understand how she
I-
would have felt.
I agree. I can understand too. She
And I
didn't
can
handle
also
it well,
understand how Jerry Ryan felt. So,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
I can see both sides of this story.
Yes.
Absolutely. So yeah, we arrive at Capelia Station, and we get to meet Olton Inigo Sung. My God, I mess up every name of his. Brent Spiner. Brent Spiner's back. Yay!
Yeah.
So what did you think of that reveal?
Cool.
My jaw dropped.
Yeah. Wasn't expecting to see him.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, he looks a lot like his dad and his grandfather.
Those
Yeah.
Sung jeans, man, they're strong.
Yes.
Is Brandi
But-
frozen?
That's what I was
I think
wondering.
she might be.
He's frozen.
I thought she was very
I thought she was-
unimpressed with
yeah,
something,
me
but I think she's actually frozen. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, there she goes. Oh, she's back.
Ah.
Okay.
Ever since the earthquake, guys, my internet has been
Oh,
going up
yeah.
and down. So apparently we have had 168 aftershocks since that
Oh, wow.
took
Holy
place.
Crap. You are
So-
having a week. You have had a week. Good Lord.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought I said something because, like, the way you were frozen, you were just
It
like,
was frozen like this.
Right.
Yeah, because I was just like, seriously, because I could see suddenly all my video disappeared and I could still hear you for a few seconds. So I'm like, are you
It looked like-
kidding again? You can't just let me have this one thing, internet.
oh,
It looked like you were thinking, "Oh, you men."
yeah. Like I was thinking, like, I'm going through my
She's
notes.
like,
I'm like, what
yeah.
did I say? What
Oh.
did I say?
She's like, you men are still thinking of that 7 of 9 from Voyager and her cat suit.
No, it was totally not you. I was thinking, oh, you internet.
Oh, that's so frustrating. As someone who has that happen and is internet is surprisingly good tonight. Yeah, I know.
You've broken up a
That's
few times, Dan. Just saying.
No, I
A
know.
little bit.
Just a
I know.
little,
Like
not
I said,
much.
surprisingly good. I've only broken
Yeah.
up a few times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I completely dropped out. So
Fair enough. Yeah, so Brent Spiner's character, I've seen speculation
I
online.
know. I was going to ask if you were going to bring this up.
I don't think he is, personally, but I think we should talk about it because a lot of people are going in this direction. And Bruce, I know you're faking it. As Dr. Crusher would say when she's playing poker against Riker, it's the way your left eye twitches when I know you're bluffing. No.
You have a tell.
Hey, I thought Soon. I woke up this morning with a dream that Soon was an android. That we find out later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a
This
lot
is
of
what
people
people
are
are saying.
speculating
Are
that
they?
he may be
Lore.
more.
Oh, I've heard that
I-
too. Yeah, but I don't think that's true. But
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I want to know what Brandi thinks about this.
Mm-hmm.
if he were an android, why would he be working on that mind transfer thing?
because he's programmed to.
Maybe he's
Nah.
already done it.
No.
So I don't think so. I don't think he's an android.
You may
Or
not know he's
since
an android. Like Soji.
I
did. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. No,
That's the
I
OU men look now.
yeah.
There it is. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of 7 and 9.
Kidding.
Yeah. No, I don't think he's lore either.
That's just the OU Bruce look.
no,
I don't
I
think
was
he's
just,
Lori
you
there.
know, apparently I can't finish a sentence, so just go
I'm
on.
sorry. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, go on.
I'm going to be quiet.
No, my moment's over. Just move on.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh.
So, and yeah, I don't think he's lore either. I did watch it the second time I watched it with that in mind, though, and I can see how people get there. I can see it, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm on the side of he's human, who's dying, and wants to live forever.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Actually, you know what's interesting is, and I made a note after the episode was over, Eric Sung from Enterprise. I got vibes of that right near the end of the episode when he's like,
Mhm.
my children, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh
Oh.
my God, this is happening again. Like, it's just like
And-
the augments
and
all over
I
again.
More times.
Totally. I said to Dave, why does every Soong have to be a madman? Why can't we just have one sane guy?
Right?
There must be something in the DNA. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And like we said, it's strong DNA. Like all of his ancestors and descendants look like him.
Yeah.
Why is that? That's crazy.
I don't know. They look identical.
How'd they do that?
Yeah. Man, how did they so consistently cast so that's amazing. Great casting.
Yeah, really
I
well
wish
done.
they would have given him like different hair color or something. I don't know. Just make him look different in some ways, or just do some. Well, I don't know. Just saying, just to make him look a little different.
I thought the one thing I will say, I thought the way he acted was quite a bit different from the other songs we've seen. Like just some of his affectations and stuff. I thought like, oh, those are some interesting choices.
Yeah, he wasn't a carbon copy at all. So, because I do believe the last time we saw him play a song was Enterprise. So,
I think so, yeah.
And vastly different personalities overall, but same kind of intent to make their work progress, you know.
But he was like much more in Enterprise. That guy Eric was much more kind of off, right? Like he was a lot more sinister, but like just kind of off.
Sinister and like he had this I can't think of the exact word, but like this wily streak to him that I don't know, like very I can't think of the word. I guess Noonien Sung was like total mad scientist, but this guy was like criminal mastermind who scienced on the side of it. Like it's kind of And this guy seems just like a little flighty.
Well, and the thing is, because he was in prison, he couldn't do the criminal mastermind stuff, so he was doing the science stuff all over everything.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Issa Briones' new character in this episode, Sutra, the android. She's kind of the big baddie, or one of the big baddies for these last couple episodes, I'm thinking.
Yep.
Yeah, what did you think about her idea that the admonition was meant for synthetic minds instead of organic?
I was so angry that I hadn't thought of that before, because I'm like, that makes perfect sense. So angry with myself. I'm like, I'm
surprised that you didn't. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have seen that.
That's totally something that you would figure out. Yeah.
Yeah. Not this time.
Yeah. I didn't see that coming either. And it's so clever. Like it's
I figured it out. I figured it out before I even watched Picard, the series. I did a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, because you think, the Romulans touching that thing and they couldn't control it, they couldn't handle it. It's like, yeah, because it wasn't meant for you. Right?
Totally makes sense.
Androids.
Should have gotten that. I really should have gotten that. I'm going to be kicking myself for a while on that one.
No, don't hurt yourself.
So then my question is, when O mind melded with Jurati, did she then just showed her the full admonition, but because O survived it, but did she show Agnes it?
Yeah, see, that was my thinking, was that she didn't give her the full admonition.
Oh, no, she absolutely did not.
Yeah.
But then Sutra saw it all.
Did she though? Like, I feel like she's seeing like a copy of a copy. This is where I'm thinking like she's totally perverted the message of it too, because she doesn't have the whole thing. I think I could be wrong about that, but because I want to talk a bit about what she sees in the admonition, because we get a lot of the same imagery. We stay on it longer though, and it seems to have more context. We have that voiceover. But what's with like the Starfleet Delta showing up
in the eye?
In the eye. Yeah.
And I purposely chose that as the thumbnail for this one because I wanted to talk about that, because what does that mean? Like Lawrence Todd, the grainy VHS admonition. I like that. Yes, exactly.
With the tracking just a little bit off.
Yeah.
And somebody, this is spoiling a comment potentially for postcards, but somebody commented that the decomposing fox was used in True Blood or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. In the opening credits.
Yeah, I knew I'd seen that somewhere before. Okay.
And apparently in like 20 other horror movies as well. Like it's apparently this weird piece of stock footage that's made the rounds. Very weird. It's probably some big conspiracy theory behind it or something.
Could be.
Maybe it's just one of the few time-lapse sequences they have of an animal fully decomposing.
I mean, obviously that's it, but I'm sure there's some weird conspiracy theory. What does it really mean? It's an Illuminati message or something.
I think
like
they
that.
used it in The Last
Right.
Jedi. I think Ray saw that vision too.
I think it was in The Ring.
Oh man.
In The Wizard of Oz. I don't know.
But you can't. But you have to look in the background. It's like really
Yep.
hard to see. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
It's
shadow
also-
of it.
It's hiding behind the curtain in Three Men and a Baby as well.
Yes. I saw that. It spooked me. I was like, I swear I've seen that before. I think I saw it on one of the Osmond variety hours.
Oh man.
Oh, there were so many variety shows back then.
There were too many.
Oh.
Yeah. The golden age of variety shows, and then they got oversaturated, and now there are no variety shows.
None.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So we should talk about this because a lot of people are talking about it online.
What?
Sutra taught herself the Vulcan mind meld.
No, people are very upset about that.
People are. Do you guys have a problem with this? I don't.
No, because you know why? It's made up. The mind meld is made up. We don't even know how it works, really. And if they're not born being able to mind meld, they have to learn how to do it. So isn't it logical that someone else could learn how to do it that's not Vulcan? Just saying.
They did
See-
it with machinery.
Like, what drives me nuts is that, like, we don't know what it is about Vulcans that lets them mind meld, and these are like biological synthetic creatures. So whatever it is biologically or technically that Vulcans learn that allows them to do it, I don't see why that process can't be repeated in an android. I honestly don't understand the problem people are having.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, didn't bother me.
Well, I don't
Oh.
know.
Bruce doesn't like
No,
it.
it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me. And one reason is because it's everything you guys are just saying, but we've never seen anybody else do it, but we did see Data learn how to do the Vulcan pitch.
Mhm.
Pitch, yeah.
That's what went through my
Yeah.
head too. Data and
Yeah.
Odo have both leurned how to do that, and Burnham.
And Burnham.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Burnham, yeah. And
But
now
do
the
you remember
Vulcan
they
mind
did-
meld is
Yeah. Go ahead.
what?
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say a mind meld is telepathic. So I can see where people would say like, well, how can an android be telepathic? But it works the other way because we saw, for example, Spock mind meld with V'ger, which is a
Mhm.
machine.
Right.
You know, so
And again, remember in Discovery they did the mind meld with what was it? Lethe?
Yeah,
The-
they had the
The little thing. Yeah. That
little
wasn't.
doodad.
Yeah.
That was a technological mind meld.
Right.
Yeah.
So there is
Spock
precedent
mind
for
melded
it.
with Nomad. I mean,
Right.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was the that's what the Star Trek the Motion Picture was, is an extended episode
Yeah.
of
Changeling, yeah.
Star Trek the original series.
Yeah, there's precedent
Yeah.
for synthetic mind meld situations. I mean,
Well, and
since the 60s. So
and these androids are built to be nearly human, and
Right.
they're evolving and they're teaching themselves. So why couldn't one evolve to be more Vulcan? Doesn't have to
Mhm.
look Vulcan on the outside, but could
Mhm.
learn to be and do the things that Vulcans can do. Maybe even
Right.
what Betazoids could do eventually.
yeah.
Yeah, well, and
Right.
Soong did say that she'd been studying the teachings of Surak and all of these Vulcan texts
Mhm.
and practices for what we assume is years.
Yeah. And the one argument I've seen, and I see Boatrek in the comments says the same thing. It's explained that she learned how to mind meld from reading books. But like I rewatched the episode and that's not what was said. Like it said she's studied Vulcan culture, she's read all these books, she's even taught herself the Vulcan mind meld. So nowhere in the episode does it say she learned that solely from reading books.
Yeah.
Like I don't, yeah, like that's just not said. There's lots of different ways she could have taught herself to do it, and
YouTube.
maybe even made alterations to her. maybe even
Yes!
made alterations to her body and mind. I mean, she's an android.
Right.
You can't say that she can't alter her body when her body is a complete construct, right?
And also remember, in the last episode when they said, or was it the last episode when they were saying that synthetic sometimes, it was Troy, right? Sometimes real isn't always better, or something like that. And like somebody had said that in some ways synthetics are superior to human beings,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just saw Automated Joy's comment. Khan Academy.
brother.
I like that. I'm sorry. So yeah, the admonition, there's this synthetic group entities that are watching over.
Federation.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was an interesting explanation. A new federation, a powerful alliance spanning galaxies. It's a promise, not a threat. Interesting.
Okay. Can I say something that I thought, and I don't know if anyone else did. I know Brandi thought of it briefly, but I thought crystalline entity when they talked about the big synthetic beings or whatever.
Yeah, I thought about it for a second, then I thought, no. I
just it made me think of it.
Yeah.
Because the crystalline entity was killing all the organic life too.
Right.
Yeah, but was it inorganic? Was the crystalline entity inorganic?
I would assume so. I would assume being crystalline, it wouldn't be carbon-based. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
It's hard to say because crystals grow on our planet and we're carbon-based. So
yeah.
Now I'm thinking we could probably see it.
I guess it's possible, but I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah, I don't think so myself. But
Well, I'm not thinking that would be the sole thing. It's like the androids would come and bring it, like they use them or something.
Yeah.
Okay, the entity functioned as a giant electromagnetic collector and needed constant power converting organic matter into energy. So, yeah.
So it was eating?
Yeah. So I was going to be like,
Exactly.
that's what we do.
Yeah,
I was hungry.
For
It's
organic
human.
matter into energy.
it was super hungry.
Super hungry. It was hangry.
It had a rumbly in its tumbly.
So we've got a few other outstanding things that we haven't talked about yet. We've got this golem, as it's called, and they're talking about mind transfer. That's something that Sung is working on.
That's what I wanted to get to earlier.
Okay. The floor is yours, Bruce.
Because when they said mind transfer, my mind went immediately to the beginning of this episode because they brought up Picard's illness and he's dying. And I was like, okay, are they going to possibly transfer Picard's mind into an android before he dies? Is that what we're leading to?
Dave said the same thing.
And then he'll actually be the emissary of humans and synthetics. Right?
Yeah. I can't. I don't know. I mean, it's weird, but
I don't know that it'll be Picard, but I like that idea of like a bridge between the synthetics and the organics, like an ambassador that can negotiate a truce between the two sides through this mind transfer technology. Interesting. I like that. They need to look up Dr. Ira Graves because he perfected this quite some time ago, and he took it with him to the grave, apparently.
I've read that.
Yeah, the season 2 TNG episode, The Schizoid Man.
Yes.
Wow. It's great you can do that like that. I can't.
Narek. We haven't talked about Narek really in this episode. So, yeah. So he's captured and then released by Sutra. Now, did he kill that android or did Sutra? I think
Sutra.
Sutra did it.
Sutra absolutely did it.
Yeah. Yeah. To the eye.
Yep.
Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, Narek became super whiny.
I know, he's getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is like a couple episodes ago when Narek was doing horrible things, I believed him more. Like I bought that he was in love with Soji and what he was doing caused him personal anguish. I'm not forgiving him, like screw that guy. But like I believed that he had these tortured feelings and stuff. In this episode, I'm just seeing manipulation. Like I think they're trying to sell that he does actually have these feelings, but
Yeah, because he had a
I
tear in
didn't
his eye.
get that in this episode. I was just like, oh, shut up.
I
You-
think I really honestly think it's a boy who cried wolf sort of thing, where he's like, okay, I could actually die. This could actually
Mhm.
go horribly wrong. And so yeah, anyway. And I know he was telling the truth where he's like, I tried to kill you because I thought you were gonna kill me. He absolutely did believe that.
Mhm.
So but
He doesn't really love her, because if he loved her, he wouldn't. That's not love.
Yeah. No, I think he's so
Maybe it
completely
is.
twisted. Like,
maybe it is for a
Yeah.
Romulan. Maybe it is love
Well,
as
for a
much as
narcissist.
Narek can love.
Yeah. Maybe he
Narcissist
doesn't.
Eric.
Maybe he doesn't love her as much as he loves his sister, but
Oh, as much as his sister loves him.
yeah.
No.
Mhm.
yeah.
Actually, no, I am gonna cough. I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
So what else do we
That's
have
the
to
first
talk
time I've heard
about?
you cough since you've been sick.
Spot
the-
2? We have Spot 2.
Spot 2. That was funny because that came up and my wife goes, "Oh, it's like Spot." And I was like, "Wait for it." She went, no, I take it back. She's like, "Oh, look at Spot. Wasn't it named Spot? What? Yeah, his name was Spot, right?" And I was like, "Wait for it."
Yeah, Spot, who was a he and then
And
was
a
a she.
Yeah, and also 3 different varieties of cat. So this should be like Spot 6 by now. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So maybe the original Spot was a synth and Data would change the sex of it occasionally.
Yeah.
See, in my personal like head continuity, Data was this sounds awful by the way, but Data was just a really horrible cat owner and just went through a whole bunch of different cats and just named them all Spot because he was not
Didn't tell
particularly
anybody.
imaginative.
Or
And the thing is, he knew that he would be able to tell the difference, but nobody else would. So it was okay as long as everybody else didn't know that he'd accidentally killed his cat.
Killed his cat. Oh my
Or-
god.
or it's the opposite. He doesn't know that he kills his cat and somebody else always finds it and they always replace it with another one. And Data shows up one day and goes, I thought this was a he. It's a she.
He'll never know the difference.
No, he would know it was not the same cat.
Yeah.
They just bring Jordy in to reprogram him. Delete those memory engrams. Oh man. And then okay, what is this it fixes things thing? Just use your imagination.
We'll see.
I think it's something that works in concert with your mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you visualize what you want it to do and it does it. That's my guess.
It's the
Okay.
Deus Ex Machina. It's the magic save the day thing.
Yes.
Yep. Totally. Now,
So-
my next
Did I say
question.
that? Is that Deus?
Can they
no,
point
is
it
that
at
right? Deus
Picard?
Ex Machina? No, what is the term?
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Brandi, I want to go back to what you said because that made me think about the mind meld thing too. Because if this is a device and it can read your mind or work with your mind, then it would make sense that an android could read a mind through a mind meld.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm done.
Bruce
Also,
is out.
this
I'm
occurred to me afterwards as well in Descent TNG. Deanna could read emotions off of Data as well.
Data. I'm feeling
Mhm.
emotion from you.
Exactly.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
I love Descent. I love Descent so much.
So yeah, my question about this this it fixes things. Could they point it at Picard's head and fix him?
Oh,
I don't think it works that way. I think
Probably not.
that neurology is probably a lot more complicated.
Oh come on, it's not
so-
rocket science.
it's
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
brain
much-
surgery.
much harder.
okay. Do you think it's a time travel-y thing? Like a rewind reset thing?
No.
It's an interesting thought. I don't think so, but
I hear when people
Yeah.
are speculating about something like that happening, everyone's like revolting
Yeah.
about time travel-y fixy
Yeah.
things.
yeah, I don't want them to do
No, me either.
a reset button time
Neither.
travel thing. No.
No, we've
No.
had that before. I don't think that they're desperate or dumb enough to do that again.
Right.
Mm-hmm. See, I
Yeah.
like a good time travel story, but
Yeah.
this doesn't. No.
I think the
No.
closest we're going to get to a time travel story in this is Burnham comes back and saves everyone.
Hey,
Oh God.
it's the Red Angel.
I love Discovery, just so you know.
So do I.
Me
Dude.
too.
Yay.
I swear I do. I don't have anything immediately. Oh, there's the Shenzhou. I have the Shenzhou right there.
I have my my ISS Charon up over on a shelf over here,
Nice.
and I have my Pike Enterprise on a shelf over here.
I see some
And-
Ethan Peck behind you.
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah.
my Ethan Peck autograph.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't get it in person, but
And the
some
drawing.
wonderful person actually gave it to me. And then, of course, drawing. You can't. Here, let me move that. Now you can see that. That's an artist's
Nice.
one of a kind rendering of Ethan Peck Spock for me.
Wow.
cool.
I love
That
it.
is so cool. Everybody's got Discovery stuff.
I got way more
Yeah.
than that. You just can't see it right now.
I
Me
got this
too.
right here. That helps too. Oh, and Michelle Yeoh, she's sitting right over there. Hi.
Oh man.
Yeah, they're gonna call
Oh.
you for Section 31 series. It's gonna happen. Don't worry.
Filming starts in May. We're gonna. Well.
So the I love you JL scene.
Oh, I love
Teared
that
up.
one.
Teared
Yeah.
up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, teared up.
No. I love you too, Rafi. Oh.
Yeah, it was just so funny because he made it so awkward.
Yeah.
It was
I
like
did- it
walking
didn't-
away in the middle of it.
Yeah. The awkwardness just carried on through. That was brilliant. I
I
loved how
think-
they. Okay.
I think he was playing with her just a little
Just a
bit.
little
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah.
The tiniest bit.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, of course I do. I don't even have to say it. Like, you have to know
Yeah.
that.
You don't have to say it, JL. I
With
don't.
his stoicism.
Well,
yeah.
but I mean, if you you too, Rafi. Like, come on. It's so great. And then so I guess the last big thing that I wanted to talk about was this conversation between Picard and Soji about the logic of sacrifice.
Oh, yes.
Discuss. What do we think of that?
Yeah, I think that that she was right when she realized that all this fighting is just, it boils down to being about fear. People fear what they don't understand. And, obviously the Romulans have not evolved past that point. And unfortunately, humans haven't really either. We'd like to believe that that they're better in the future, but they've shown us that they gave in to fear in the Federation by banning synths. So, yeah. When it comes right down to it, it's all about, you're different from me. I don't understand that, so I'm going to kill you. That's
Right.
basically all of the conflict from the beginning of time. It's all about fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to remember what we were talking about, Brandi. This was a few weeks ago, and there was something. I remember I made a comment about I don't remember Romulans.
Mhm.
And I said something about, the Federation, people don't trust the Romulans, and you're like, it's not all the Romulans. You're people are lumping all Romulans together. There's some bad Romulans and there's good Romulans. And that's like the situation here. These androids are looking at the human race or all races and saying, it's not
Organics.
just, the organics. It's not just, a few that are bad. They're just all bad. We're lumping them all in together. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Mhm.
making the same mistakes that organics do.
Yep.
No.
Exactly.
Yay them.
Yeah, it's like Star Trek is like a reflection of ourselves in some weird way.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I
What?
mean, we do that. We humans do that now. They do that. They have, you see one person of a certain race do something, and suddenly all people from that race are that way.
Right.
It's just everyone is painted with the same brush. And that's not how it works. You can't judge an entire race or group of people by the actions of one.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes, my actions do not reflect on the other three on the show right now. Just saying.
Same
people.
here.
They do not. His actions do not reflect on me.
Right.
And my actions do not reflect on any of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Dan.
Yeah,
All
Dan.
y'all reflect on me.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So what is Sutra's plan here? Like, has she revealed everything that she's
Well, they're gonna build that transmitter and signal the big synths, and
Mhm.
the big synths are gonna destroy all the organics on their behalf.
Yep.
That's
show
her big
over.
plan.
Yep.
Do you think she's right? Do you think that's
Absolutely not.
okay? All right.
I want to believe, this is what I want to believe, that when the big synths get there, it's not what she thinks they're going to be.
Mhm.
Mm,
Oh,
Yeah.
That's my hope, but I don't know
mm.
that I'll be right.
you think we're gonna?
Yeah.
I don't know that they're going to show up and be like, okay, yeah, we're going to kill all organics for you. Just sit tight. We'll take care of this. I feel like that's not how it's going to go.
Do you think it's
Mhm.
going to be something that we've seen before, or people think something that we're aware of from the past?
I hope not. I hope it's something completely different that we've never heard of or seen. Because it's been around for 100,000 years or more.
Right.
Yeah. I'm with you
Yeah.
on
So-
that. I want something different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't need fan service in this particular area. Give me
No.
something new.
What if it's
Yeah.
like Brent Spiner playing the creator, the synthetic? I don't know.
I'm picturing all these synths showing up and they all look like Brent Spiner.
We just liked the aesthetic.
I love
It
it.
just made sense.
Yeah. So the songs have all been synthetics planted by these guys all throughout history. That's why they all look alike. We figured it out.
Synths
For
that age.
Cylons. Oh my
We-
god.
oh, and we know that they can age because, remember Data's mom? So,
Yeah, Data. It's just like your aging program. Wink, wink. Yes, Jordy.
So Juliana, the original Juliana, is the mother of Alton.
Yeah. Alton, yeah.
Alton, yeah.
That's
Alton and
my
a
guess.
goat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
He looks just like his mom. It's crazy.
Sure.
Okay, so we were talking about this at the start of the show as well, and I'm wanting to bring this up, and I've seen this comment elsewhere. Becky 2010able, my favorite scene is Riker and Troy. Awesome. None of us. When was Riker and Troy in this episode? Because we were trying to figure this out. So, like, none of us remember that, right?
That wasn't in my version.
Not in mine either. They were
No.
they were in the previously section, but
Yeah. We
I keep
did
seeing
not see
people mentioning them at the end, and I do not remember that at all.
them at the end.
And
No.
yeah, I watched it twice.
Same.
Same
She's
here.
still in- yeah, you're still in the chat.
Yeah, so she just
Can I-
commented. So we'll wait for your comment
Yeah.
because I'm curious what this is. So I'm sure it's something because multiple people have mentioned it. I'm not sure what's going on there, but
Did you guys
Oh.
notice that in the subtitles they didn't spell Surak right? They spelled it Sarek.
Mhm.
oh
That pissed
no!
me off.
That annoyed me.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah. Well, it's not the first mistake they've made, and I'm
not.
sure it won't be the last.
The subtitles I've noticed. There's been a few glaring things
Yeah.
that's
They
annoying.
need to do some more consulting with the subtitling.
Mhm.
Why would Surik be in the end credits?
Well, no, it was when
No, in
Soong
the
was
sub-
The
talking about
subtitles.
that she
Yeah.
studied
I
the
see.
philosophy of Surak, and it said
Oh.
Sarek in the subtitle.
Mhm.
Unless somebody's watching it that can't hear the words that they're saying and thinks that they meant Sarek when Sarek didn't write that book.
Yeah.
That was
Annoying.
before Sarik's time.
Boa
So,
Trek
okay.
makes a good point too here. Skip the opening credits next episode to avoid cameo spoilers. Yeah, I just happened to glance up and saw Brent Spiner. I was like, oh,
Oh, I'm not gonna watch him this next week then. No way.
yeah.
Yeah, Becky 20 Tenable says maybe it's in the trailer. I didn't see anything in the trailer either.
Yeah,
And I watched the trailer for next week, and they were not in that either. So I
But
don't know.
were they in the previously on though?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
they're
were in the previously on. Yeah.
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 I'm really confused. Then why so many people say they've seen Troy and Riker?
Yeah, because
It was just-
there was a couple other people I saw like mentioned it on a tweet or something like that.
Maybe they were just saying they really loved that moment, a few episodes ago.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
2 episodes ago.
I don't know. I'm watching the end right now. I'm not seeing anything.
Becky says, I promise it was there somewhere. I don't know.
Okay.
But why would it be there? Doing what?
Yeah.
Like, what would Troy and Riker be doing at the end of this episode or in this episode?
Yes,
Automated
I
Joy
have
says
that.
maybe Sarek made an annotated version of the Sirach book.
or an illuminated version where every new chapter starts with a really big ornate letter.
Nice. Awesome.
She says, "No, trust me.
Yeah.
They got Picard's message."
That's not in anything we saw.
I just,
Yeah, so I'm wondering if there's
I don't know.
multiple versions floating around out
Maybe
there.
because
Um,
I can't find that.
Yeah, did you
And
miss when he was
I-
trying to call Starfleet? No,
Yeah, I
I
remember
saw
that.
that scene.
When Soji
And-
walks in.
Yeah, and I remember he turns off the screen in disgust because he's not getting
Yeah, he's not
anything
getting
Right.
back.
through. Yeah.
Okay, do you guys
Weird.
think we're going to get a huge Starfleet armada next week
Yes.
that Clancy sent in?
Yes,
I think so, yeah.
Are we going to see the Enterprise? And is Worf
I-
going to be commanding it?
that would be amazing.
Oh,
That would be awesome. I'm
wouldn't
not
the
getting my
Enterprise be
hopes up. I am not getting my hopes up. That would be
I
awesome.
would love it. I would be surprised if well, okay, I think there's going to be an armada shows up.
Yes.
I would be really surprised if there wasn't the Enterprise there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They can't not have the Enterprise there.
So
Come on,
if the Enterprise
flagship.
is there, that can't be the big, huge surprise at the end because that's what we got at the end of Discovery Season 1. So they're going to have to do something even bigger than that if they do show the Enterprise.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. I really have no idea how this is going to go, and I love that I have no idea how this is going to go.
Mhm.
Yeah, me too.
Oh man! If we see Michael Dorn as Worf, Michael Dorn's gonna look at the camera and said, "I told you he was gonna come back."
Somebody. Oh, right. Somebody in the chat earlier said that Brent Spiner also was lying to us because in some of the, I don't know if it was the Ready Room or whatever, the official Star Trek Ready Room, if
What?
that somebody said that Brent Spiner was saying that none of us Gates, LaForge, none of us, all the names I'm blanking on. He was saying that none of us were in the series.
That's what Patrick Stewart said, and this was before production had started.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, and besides that, he would have signed a bunch of NDAs and wouldn't have been
Of
able to tell
course.
them anyway. So
And would have totally been thrilled to lie to everybody about it.
yes,
Oh
because Patrick loves a good joke, y'all.
yeah. All of them. Yeah.
John Guppy says, I expect Commodore O to be in command of the task force. Well, we saw her at the end. She's in command
Yeah.
of the Romulan ships.
Mhm.
Yep.
She's all
Yeah.
decked out in her
Romulan
evil
outfit.
Romulan leather.
Yeah, she'd being all sexy. I'm sorry, no, she wasn't. She's bad guy. Totally. She looked fantastic, y'all.
Yeah, and Riker and Troy were standing right there with her too.
Yeah.
And Tuvix was there too. With his hat and cane.
It's like, there you are.
No, Riker's just sitting at a computer console at the back and turns around and says, "Computer, freeze program." And
Oh.
My heart. Why?
That's a deep cut in the worst way.
Okay, I'm fine.
Oh, I'm not. I'll never be fine.
No, I'll never be fine about that, but I'm fine.
No.
So yeah, I gotta say for myself personally, I had a hard time kind of talking a lot about this episode in like the video review I did and stuff, because it's like a lot of setup with huge payoffs, I'm assuming, coming next week. So like a lot of what we've been talking about is like all these pieces being moved into place and not quite knowing what they're representing or what's going to happen from them. So we've got Narek, we've got this golem, we've got the fleets coming, we've got Sutra and her evil plan, and Soji and what's she going to do, and Girardi, what's she going to do. We got a lot of stuff to wrap up here, and I'm really excited about it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Totally mixed feelings because like I can't wait, but also then there's no more Picard episodes to look forward to.
Yeah.
And I'm
but then
stuck in
that gives-
isolation with no Picard coming.
I
Yeah,
know.
but you can rewatch it.
Yeah.
You can
Like,
rewatch it like in a
same.
binge. Yeah, but you
I'm
can
really
rewatch
ready
wanna
for the
do
end of the
that.
like a
season.
mini series and just go from episode to episode and see how things connect.
Yeah, I do want to do a binge watch. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that for sure.
I want to have the bird's eye view. I want to have the full, complete vision of the whole season 1. I'm ready for that. You know, I'm okay with not having any more to watch after that because I just want to see the whole thing now as it stands by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Binge watch.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess, people in the comments, let us know, what did you want to rate this episode? If you have to give it a rating, again, with the difficulty in mind, knowing that it's part 1 of 2 and there's a bunch of questions left over and all that stuff. Let us know what you think. And I guess round table for final thoughts. Chris, why don't you lead us off?
Why did what's the girl's name with the hummingbird thing, Stabby?
Oh,
Arcana?
yeah.
Why did she die? It didn't go in her brain. It was just the tip of the hummingbird thing. Like, why did she die from that?
An electrical short?
That hummingbird beak was pretty long.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
It was just the part of it was sticking in. I don't know.
Couldn't, you got a top-down view. You could not see the depth of that thing in her eye, and
But then there was
thankfully
the
they
side-
didn't show that.
Then there was the side that showed like most of the bird sticking out.
And did you think the golden eye line was kind of weird? Like, your golden eye, your perfect golden eye. It was
she was playing to her audience.
No,
She
that was
hamming it
Soong.
that
up.
was Soong. That was
That was
Soong.
Soong.
Or he was hamming it up. So
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So I'd like to bring something up on that. It just occurred to me because you were talking about the beak of this thing in her eye, and we were all saying that, you know, oh yeah, Sutra did that. Oh yeah, we know she did that. We were all kind of in agreement on that. But before that, we do see Narek staring at it, and they put a close up on it.
Oh,
as if
that's
he's
right.
Yeah, he
thinking of
looks
using
down
it.
at the bird and he's like, aha.
Yeah, and they did a real good close up of that object to suggest that he's going to try to do something with that. So
That's right.
maybe
That
it
could be
was
too, yeah.
it could be Narek, because why would they edit it that way?
Maybe they'll show the scene where Narek's like, "Hey, Sutra, I got this idea earlier. How about you see that thing on her?" And Sutra's like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." And then Sutra stabs.
And then he puts it in her eye, and she goes, "Not that far. Pull it out a little." Ugh.
I'm gonna go with it was Sutra because I don't think you could have caught Arcana unaware that easily coming at her eye with a plastic hummingbird or a glass hummingbird.
Sure.
So
That was my thinking.
So, do you think it was the directors trying to throw the audience off by making them think
Yes.
it's Narek? Okay,
yes, I do.
That would make a lot of sense to me.
It's a red herring.
A red herring.
No, it was a hummingbird. I don't know if you saw that.
Okay, it was a blue hummingbird.
Do you think
No.
Blue.
It was
Do
a
you think Soong
butterfly.
Do you think Soong was like, "I used to love red herrings. I miss them so much. I made."
Oh, it's great.
Oh.
Oh man. So
See,
Oh,
there's several in this episode.
Boatrix brings up a good point that I had forgotten. It was actually Saga, the dumb one.
Oh, that's right. She was the one that had the brooch. Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
The dumb one.
That's what he said, not me. Not me. I did not say she was dumb. Naive, I think, is a better word for it.
Yeah.
So, Brandi, final thoughts that you wanted to?
This episode was a bit overwhelming for me. The second watch gave me more clarity, which is not to say that I didn't like it. I think it's part of my fever brain problem right now, honestly. But it was very emotional for me. You know, in fact, it's just the opening scene and then the credits start, and I'm just like, yeah, because that opening song, I mean, that credit sequence with that music is just so beautiful, and it's become like one of my most favorite Star Trek themes ever. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was fascinating. It was interesting. I love Issa Briones and her ability to make you believe she is someone completely different, and make you love her as this person and hate her as that person. Oh my word, she's talented. I have a girl crush on her, and just great performances from our main crew. Not enough Rios for me, but I'll forgive that. So I'm waiting with bated breath for the next episode. By the way, that's not BAITED. No, I don't have bait on my breath. No, bated breath is actually an abbreviation for abated, which means to hold. So I'm waiting with my breath held.
Excellent. I love that you bring up that there wasn't enough Rios, because I have no idea, obviously, because I've not seen the next episode, but thanks to Bruce Gibson, I've listened to the Star Trek Picard podcast, and there was a line, Akiva Goldsman was the guest, and the host says something like, oh, speaking of Rios, that scene from episode 10, we won't talk about that now, but moving on, blah, blah, blah. So oh, what's this? So... I think there's some Rios goodness. I hope goodness, actually, now that I say that, coming.
Please be goodness. Don't kill my Rios.
Right?
Don't kill my Rios. I cannot handle that.
They're not going to kill him.
I don't want any of them to die. I can't handle any of them.
Yeah.
So one thing I will say, though, is that Agnes is kind of naive and just changes allegiances really quickly.
She does, yeah.
So it's just so kind of easy to manipulate.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her.
I think I don't know. I think there's more to it than that.
I think so too.
I think she's doing it on purpose to try and, like, yes, she would die for the sense because they're her children, more or less. But I also think she's got other things. She's going to be doing other stuff too to help.
That wouldn't surprise me, but at the same time, it's just like, I gotta kill the sense. Oh, look at you! You're so pretty. I would never kill you.
Agnes is a mess. Don't get me wrong.
Agnes is a mess. She is a mess. So a glorious hot mess.
Yeah.
And again, kudos to Alison Pill, because dang, lady.
Lawrence, Todd, you better bite your tongue. Rios has bumped Janeway down a rung on my captain ladder. First of all, Rios is no longer in Starfleet. Janeway is Starfleet. Lawrence, no. No. Sorry, that's it. I'm done.
I don't rate my captains. Because
I know, you don't pick favorites.
I actually do have a favorite, but I've never gotten it.
Oh, I want to know now.
We'll never know. He'll never tell us. Does Dave know?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Dave.
He's not going to tell either. Actually, he's going to think, do I know?
He forgot it.
I remember her telling me that. Did she tell me that?
I will ask you one question, though.
Okay.
Without you revealing your captain, was this person your favorite captain before 2018?
No.
Okay.
She could have changed her mind later, though.
Yeah, I could change my mind at any time.
I know who it is.
I know who it is, too.
Shut up. You don't know. You think you know.
We don't know. Yeah,
we don't know.
Could be several.
Mhm.
So, Bruce, final thoughts on the episode.
You know, I really liked them going to the planet and seeing all the androids. I thought that was pretty cool. I was kind of hoping that the way some of them were dressed, that we might see androids for Rubicon from the Justice episode in TNG, the half naked people running around. I thought that would be cool.
I saw somebody in the
God
comments saying that they stole their costumes from Tasha Yar. And I'm thinking the naked now.
That too, because they did remind me very much of like an early TNG.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed that, and there was a lot of things I enjoyed, but then there were little things that just seemed like I was questioning, and I don't feel like it was the questioning of like, well, like maybe we'll get the answers later. It just like I say, like questions about the Borg and why weren't they questioning, thinking that the Romulans were still on it, and just other little things, even what Chris is saying about the little thing in the eye, like that killed her, just that little thing. But whatever, there's just little things like that. I was getting like, but it was good. I'm really interested to see what happens in the next one. It almost feels like to me that they've played this story out for all these episodes and realized they were getting to the end and just had like too much, and they just maybe had to just kind of get to some things really quickly and not having to explain things, just kind of keep it moving on. That's what it felt like to me. But I loved it still.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this episode. Like I said earlier, I think this is the first time that I didn't just think that a rewatch was beneficial, but like necessary, because I had a bunch of little questions that were kind of distracting me, I think, from the main plot. So that like by the end, I was kind of doing the Tilly thing, like, what just happened? Like, wait, okay, so these guys are coming and they're gonna kill all the humans, and then okay, what happened? And like, so I had to rewatch it again because of that. So but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really excited to see where all these plot points go in the next episode. So I think that's my biggest takeaway from this is heightened anticipation for episode 10. That's kind of where I'm at.
Can I ask? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I want to
please.
ask the group a question, but I didn't want you to move on before. Are you done with your review? Or?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm scrolling way back for the ratings.
Are you
We
done
had
yet,
them
Dan?
a while ago.
Well, yeah. Let's read the ratings and then I'll ask the question to the group.
I haven't found them yet. We've been talking for a
thought I
while.
saw
There we
them.
go. Okay, so
Okay.
Stress Free K says the episode gets an 8. Zamboni Josiah, 9 Space Orchids out of 10. I like Sick Brains, 8 out of 10 as well. Automated Joy, 2 out of 2 spots. Excellent. That's really good. Becky 2010able, 9 out of 10 androids. So yeah, not no 10s I'm seeing. So
Well, 2 out of 2 spots.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
Yeah,
2 out of
that's
2
fine.
spots. Yep, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Stress VK says all the others were 9s and 10s. So most of what I'm seeing, and not a lot of people gave ratings, but
Right.
looks like a little lower on average, maybe.
See, that's
than
probably
most.
where I land. Just a
Yeah.
little. Yeah. But
Yeah,
still
me
good.
too.
Still good.
Mhm.
Still good. So Becky 20 table.
Oh yeah,
Becky
should
20 tenable
table?
says about the Showtime next week. So yeah, that I brought that up last week because I was going to be traveling, but of course now I'm not. Obviously, the wedding I was going to has been canceled because the bride and groom can't even get to it
Oh, wow.
because in the military and they're not allowed to travel out of state. And it was out of state. They're doing a small wedding with family where they're at now in the state that they're in, but I'm not going to that anyway. So I'm available. Brandy's available. Dan, you were kind of iffy last time we talked.
I had a birthday party that I was going to go to, and that is now not happening. So, and
Okay.
even if it were happening, I'd probably not go. So, we're good to go next Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel, to use a cliche.
Yay.
I love that though.
I know.
Or
It's like the
same
universe
Trek
now.
time.
Same Trek time.
Same
Mhm.
Trek channel.
I think we still should do a big wrap up one though.
Agree.
Maybe after
you
we've done
should.
that like 10 episode binge or something like
Yeah,
that.
if I'm home that night, yeah. Oh yeah, I will be.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh.
Okay, so my question. This is really the end of the show, so this is a bonus part here. I love Elnor. Okay, I want a plush Elnor to hug and squeeze and everything. Okay, I really do. But here's the thing: after this episode, it really dawned on me that this character really doesn't have a purpose.
The last few episodes, I have felt that a little bit.
I mean, he hasn't really contributed much. You could have written him out, and everything would have played out the same.
But we haven't seen the final episode.
That's true.
That's true. And exactly. And maybe that's after this next episode, if he doesn't do anything, then we'll really talk about it.
Yeah. I think they've got another episode to like really have him pull out all the stops. But
that's the thing, Brandi. It's like that's what I'm hoping for in this next episode is give Elnor something to really do and contribute.
Agree, because I am always on board for more Elnor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely. I like the thought that he'll grow more in the next season. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yes. Let's hope that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess thank you all so much for joining us. This has, as always, been a lot of fun. And we've got one more episode of Picard and 2 more episodes in the short term of the Unready Room, with possibly more to come. I'll talk to my colleagues and see what we can figure out. But thank you all so much, and stay safe, wash your hands, and be well. And
live long.
Reach out to your friends and all that stuff too. Live long and prosper. And I'm going to use that hand now to click end broadcast. So
no, wait, don't do it. Don't do it.